I didn't pray before starting this meeting, so maybe I'll take some minutes and go and pray and join you back.
Okay.
I came home a bit late this evening.
Okay.
I just go home about 2 minutes to 7.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll pray and join you. So you go ahead.
okay.
Since the recording is there, I'll watch what.
Okay. So guys, last week we started Bootstrap, and we said Bootstrap is a CSS framework, or is a front-end framework that makes the work of front-end developers pretty easier, right? That one, it doesn't make you write a lot of CSS, because most of the CSS has been written for you. All that you have to do is learn the classes and call the classes. That's all. So we started with the how to set up Bootstrap with HTML and CSS, or in your application, whichever application that you are building, how to set it up if only you use Bootstrap. So after that, then we started with the typography, where we learned about the display class. Um, we also learned about the lead class, the text monospace, font weight, and the others. This is what we did last week. And from there, we also started looking at the Bootstrap colors. And we saw that Bootstrap has about 7 to 10 colors. That is the text primary, which is blue, text secondary, or not just text, primary, secondary, success, info, and the others. These are the main colors of Bootstrap. Okay. And today we are going to start with this, which is float. So this one is all about how to position your layout, or how to position your text, or any component on your Bootstrap website, how to position it. So we have a class called float. We have a class called float, and with the float class, we can float it to left, right, or none. None will just leave it at the initial position. So we are going to I've already pushed all these starter files to the GitHub repository. So if you guys feel lazy to type them, you can just go there and pull it, so that you can be on the same page. Yeah, I don't want us to be typing a lot here, because it will consume our time. We are here to learn the classes and know how to use them. Okay, so I'm starting this right now. This is it. Everything is positioned at the left. That is the starting. So let's start with the first one, which is float left. So all that you have to do is what? You introduce a class. mm, Then you give it what? Um, Float left. Is it working? Okay. All right. So yeah, it's working, because left is where it is initially. So it will not do anything. Nothing will happen. But let's look at the second one, which is float right. Please, if you don't understand anything, let me know. Okay. All right. So that's what we have over here. We have float right, which position it at the right part of your web page. So this one, you'll be using this um, when you start laying out your website. This is how you use it. Maybe you have a text or a button or any component somewhere, and you want to position at the right or the left. So you can just use this class. Don't forget this class, float. So the float, we have left, right, and none. The none is the same as the left, because that one will not position it at anywhere. All right. So it's the same thing. Remember last time, last week, I introduced the what do you call it, the responsive classes or the responsive part of Bootstrap. And we said that Bootstrap has about 4 main ways of adjusting or making the website responsive. How? So we have, so it depends on the screen size. We have the large screen, which is represented by LG in Bootstrap. Then we also have the medium screen. We all know the medium screen. Eh? Something like tablet can be a medium screen. So that one is represented by what? MD. Then we have the small screen, which is the mobile phones that we use, which is also represented by SM. And the first one was supposed to be even extra large, which can be our television set or those big monitors that we use externally to the to support our screen. That's our laptop screens. So they are the main um that's the main way Bootstrap has classified the various screens. All right. So here we are saying that on the small screen or anything that is smaller, you should position it at the what? At the right. So how do you remember that? So all that you have to do is what? Yes, guys, who can remember how to do the position, how to use the media queries or the responsive classes? Hello, Majid. Are you with us?
Yes, Mr. Albert.
All right. So all that you have. Uh-huh. All right. So all that you have to do is call the class float md float. This one is what? Small, sm float sm what? Right. So if you go there, all right. So it is here because I'm also using a small screen. My monitor is not all that big, but when you enlarge it, it will be on the left because this one is based on the screen of your monitor or the device that you are using. So the same thing that we have to repeat over here. Here, when you come here, you have class flow to right on medium screen, and here to flow to right on large screen. So you are just testing this with um with all the devices, the size of the devices. All right, so let me visit the Bootstrap documentation and see one or two things there. Bootstrap. So Bootstrap 4. We are using Bootstrap 4. Don't forget. Okay, so float classes. That's what we are learning now. Okay, so if you look at this one, that's what we are learning now. We have float SM left, float MD left, float LG left. So we are using all the devices. That is the small, medium, large, and extra large. That's what we are doing here. So all that you have to do is you have to introduce them, and based on the size of the screen, you just adjust it. That's how it works. So here I will not continue because of time today. I don't want us to be wasting much time. I want us to cover a lot, at least finish all the basics and even move to the next model. So I will leave this one for you guys to continue. It's the same thing. If you understand this, you can do the rest. Let's move on to the next one. The next one too, it also has another class called um Clearfix, and we are going to look at what this one does. So all that we are going to do now is we are going to position the button one at the left and one at the what? Right. And let's see what will happen when we do that. Okay. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I just talked about. So float left, and this one what? Float right. So let's save it. Go back to the screen. and check what we have. All right, you can see that this one has been positioned at the left and this one has also been positioned at the right. But looking at the fixed top, it has moved, or it has come in between the left and the right. It wasn't like this. Let me undo for you guys to see how it was before it changed to that. So let's go. You can see that's how it was. This is the initial state. This is the initial state. And we have just float left and float right, which we have not added any class. And the rest of the content follows like that. But immediately we introduce our float left and float right. Let's save it and see what happens. So you can see that the next part of the page, which start from the fixed top up to this text that we are seeing here, has moved up. They have moved up. That is, it has come in between the float right and the float left. This is not how it's supposed to be. So how do you correct this? So all that you have to do is come to the mother set or the parent what do you call it, div, eh, and give it a class of what? Clear clear fix. Clear fix. So this one is going to fix that thing for you. It's going to see right now it has cleared the space for you. That is in between this one. We don't want anything in between left and right. Please, am I making sense? Guys, Majid and Co,
Yes, Mr. Robert, you are.
do you understand?
Yes, please.
All right, so this one is not anything. All that you are learning, if you are learning how to position our what do you call it, our text and other elements on our HTML page. So right now we are done with clear fix and float. Just now we are done with float and float right and left, all the properties on float. We are moving on to the next one. The next one is what? Fixed top. Fixed top. And what does that do? Fixed top. All right. So you guys, let me see if I have that in here. Okay, I didn't implement that on this website, but I have it somewhere. So that one, all that it does it. You see, you visit some websites, sometimes you visit some sites that the navigation bar, when you scroll up, the navigation bar doesn't move. It will be at the top, whilst all the rest part the rest of the HTML web page you just scroll under that. Guys, are you aware of that? Have you been observing those things? Have you seen such thing before on any website?
Can you show us an example?
Let me see if Bootstrap have that. Yes, this is what
Well,
I'm talking about. You can see the navigation bar, it doesn't move. It is fixed. And the rest of the page are moving under that. This is what I'm talking about.
yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen this?
Yes, please.
Good.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so this is how you can implement that. All that you have to do is to use this class, fixed top, fixed top. So how do you do that? So let's it's simple. Fixed dash top. So let's go. So right now I'm expecting to see the fixed top. This let me change it, and let's use code boot. So I'm expecting to see code boot on top of the web page. So you can see this is code boot, and when I move my web page, code boot will not move. It will be, you can see. Guys, are you following? So all these classes, we are going to use them. That's the main reason why I've taken my time to explain some of these things for you guys, because if I don't, if you don't start from the genesis and I move straight to learning the Bootstrap components, like how to create navigation bar, forms, and the rest, in fact, you will not understand, because at the end of the day, you are going to put all these classes together to create them. That's it. So this is how to implement that thing that you are seeing over here. So assuming you, after creating your navigation bar in Bootstrap, and you want it to be fixed on top, all that you have to do is what? Add this class, which is what? Fixed top, and it will do that for you. Then the next one is what? Fixed sticky. Fixed sticky. So that one too, let's see how it works. So that one works similar to the fixed top, but it's a bit different. So sticky is different from uh, fixed top. So let's see, fixed top. So with that one too, where is it? You can see that one is here. So you can see that one also works like the, what do you call it? The fixed top. The sticky and the top works almost the same. It works almost the same. Then we also have another one, which is, I think, fixed button, or yeah, button. So that's just the opposite of what we have learned. It's just the opposite. So as the name sound, fixed button will position, or will just pin it to the footer section. So normally this one too, you can apply this one to your footer. If you don't want the footer to go anywhere, you can just use this class and that will work for you. So you can see this one is also here. It doesn't move. It is static. It is static. All right. So let's move on to the next utility class. So today we started with floats, and we learned about how to position them using float. From there we look at what? Clear fix. Then we have also looked at the fixed top and fixed um, bottom, and we also look at fixed what do you call it? Sticky. Mm? No. Okay. So I use fixed top here. No one saw that. Oh guys. So it should be sticky rather, not I think that one, it moves to the element or something. So let's see. Where is it? Where is my sticky? Oh, I can't find it. I think that one moves with the element, but I can't find it. It moves with the element. Let me see whether I use the fixed. All right, let me look for it over here. Um, let me search for it. So sticky. Okay. So we have sticky top and sticky fixed button and fixed top. All right. So these are the classes that we use. So we can use sticky top instead of the fixed. You can use sticky top and the rest. So as I said, always they should be the guidelines for all of us whenever we are learning, and you find yourself lost. Just come here and type in the class. You are going to see the solution. Let's move on to the next one. I think we are done with color. We are done with this. So the next one is spacing. With spacing, I jotted some notes here that will help me to explain things better for you guys. So with the spacing, Bootstrap has about two main ways. That is the margin and the padding. And now I'm sure when I mention margin and padding, I believe and I hope each and everyone here understand what I mean by that, because we have already learned about this in HTML and CSS. So all that margin does is it creates space outside the box. That is, when I say box, in CSS box model, you remember we said always picture all the elements or every element on your web page as what? As a box. That's it. So the margin will create space outside the box, and padding will create space inside the box. All right. So if you take margin alone, we have margin top, that is T, margin bottom, margin left, margin right. And if you want to use the X and Y axis, X will work for margin left and right. So for class, that set both left and right. Margin Y will set for class that's bottom and what top. If you leave it blank, if you just say margin, just M, it will create space for all that's top, bottom, left, and right, or it will create for X and Y. So if you leave it blank for classes, that set a margin or padding on all the sizes of the element. Guys, please do you understand what I'm saying? Hello, guys. Yeah, Majid,
Yes, Mr. Alex.
do you guys understand?
Yes, please, we understand.
Yes, please.
Okay. Like, I want to hear from you because I don't want to be like I'm moving fast and I'm leaving you guys behind. Okay. So the next one is the size for the margin. So you can apply the following sizes on any of them. That is the margin or the padding. So with the margin or the padding, you can say margin top 0. That one will not do anything because 0 is 0. Margin top 1, margin top 2, margin top 3, in that order up to 5. This is where it ends. So here by default for classes that set the margin or the padding to space X, it uses point what 25 or space Y uses this. So these are the measurement. So these are the measurement for margin and padding. These are the measurements. So let's apply them here right now. Since we understand, let's try to use them here. So let me end this part and restart it again, since we are starting a new utility class. All right, so this is what we are going to do. We are just going to apply the margin and the padding on all these elements. I don't think today I will be doing all the work for you. I'll leave most of them so that you guys will do it yourself to practice whatever we are learning here. All right, so let's start with this one. With the first one, we are going to add margin bottom, margin bottom. So we're starting with margin bottom of 0, margin bottom of 1, up to the last one. So what does margin do? It creates space outside. Remember that. So we learned that margin is denoted or is represented by what? Just M. And we are saying here we want to add margin bottom. So all that you have to do is MB, which is what? 0. So hyphen 0. This one there will be no change because it's just 0. So I want to see some changes. So I'm going to do the third one for you. That's margin bottom 3. Then you guys will do the rest. So MB of what? 3. So right now let's go to the screen and see. So margin bottom of 3. I think this is it, right? Or yes, I think this is it. So
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, so that one will create, you can see the space here is bigger than the rest of the spaces. Guys, can you see that?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes, you can see the space here and the space here are the same, and this one as well is the same as this one and this. But looking at this one, because we added margin bottom of what? 3, it has created additional space. So you can see this one is bigger than the rest. So that is margin.
And then the margin bottom 0 has collapsed the margin. Look at 0 and 1.
Good. So that one too has removed the space in between the 0 and the 1. In fact, I didn't even see that. Thank you, Abdul. Guys, please, the rest of you, don't just follow. Make sure you observe anything that you see. You can draw my attention. That's it. We are all learning. I've already told you that. I'm not teaching. We are learning. All right. The next one is margin top. The next one is margin top. And I think that one is also the same as what we have done here. So all that I'll do is I'll just do one quickly for you. Then you guys will do the rest. Please, are you guys typing? Hello? Hey, and then a man background, we have only 5 people.
Only 5 people. But me, I just returned from prayer, so ultimately I'm not typing. But the rest should be typing.
Hey, these guys.
Or they have also joined with their mobile phones.
All right, no problem. Let's continue.
Yeah, me for instance, I have a problem with my laptop. So of late, I join with a phone and then use a friend's laptop.
Okay.
Therefore, you are typing.
Now I'm using my phone for the Zoom class.
Okay.
No problem. I said I have this starter files on GitHub, so you guys can just go there and clone it or pull it to continue whatever I will say do. Because this time around, I'm not going to do everything for you. Let me leave most of the work for you so that you can practice at this stage. All right. So the next one is margin top, and that one is just the opposite of the margin bottom. So MT of what? 2. So MT of 2. Let's go there. Margin top of 2. Do you have any changes? This one I'm not seeing it though. It's almost the same. Let me see. Margin top of 2. So this one is supposed to create additional space here. So let me change this one. Instead of success, let me make it primary so that I can see what's going on. All right. So it seems we have, or it's the same. Is it the same?
What it might mean is that the default margin then is 2. So let's go increase the 3 and see. Let's do for the MT3 and see.
Let me do it for. Okay. I think so.
Yes.
I think so. All right. So that's it. You can just play around some of these things, and all that you need is understanding. You see, that's all you need. So if you know margin top will do this, there is no need for you to panic. If you apply it and it doesn't work, you can just even inspect and see what is happening. As Abdul suggested that maybe they are all using the margin of 2. Yes, you can inspect it in your browser to check the sizes. All right. Then we are moving on to the next part, which is the master and the ML. So margin left and margin what? Right. So that one too is the same thing. So margin right is what? 5. So I'll just do this one for you. Then you do the next one. So margin left, margin right is what? 5. Do you have any margin? Oh, yes. So you can see this is the margin. This is it. This is the margin. So you can do the same for this left. You can also do that. You can do that when you get access to these files. All right. Then margin X and margin what? Right. So that is the X. That is left and right. So all that you have to do, if you don't want to be typing margin right, margin left, if you don't want to be doing it one by one, you can just combine the two and make it margin X. So this one, we all learned about this X and the Y axis in mathematics when you were in basic schools and the high schools, especially graph works. Yes. So it's the same thing over here. So margin left and right can be shortened as margin X. And here we want to use what? 5. So margin X of what? 5. Let me change. In fact, there's access too much over here because I was lazy. I didn't want to type a lot. So let's use danger as a way of even revising the colors again. So you can see this is it. So we have left and right 5 5 each. We have 5 here, 5 here. They are the same. All right. Then the next one is margin top and bottom. Margin top and bottom. So that one we are applying to the middle one. the middle one. So all that you have to do is what? Just come here and do my. My of what? That was to 5. Let me change the class again to warning, warning, and let's go and check. So you can see here it has space, it has created space over here and this side too. So that is the top and bottom. All right, let's move on to all sizes. All sizes. So if, so let me change this one to secondary. Secondary. It's a way of revising. So let me change this one to secondary. So guys, you can see, look at the initial margin. Look at the initial margin around this. Look at the initial margin. So here, all that we are going to do is we are just going to add just margin, and if you just write M, it represents all the 4 sizes. All the 4 sizes. That is the margin, left, right, top, and what? Bottom. So here we are using what? M of what? 5. So let's go and see. You can see it has created 5. It has increased the margin here, this side, top, and bottom. So the same applies to padding. I don't know whether I should still do some of the padding because I just repeated whatever we did here. So should I leave this one for you guys? Hello, let me hear from you. Hey, is there a for?
Certainly, you can leave it. You can leave it.
Yes, yes, yes. So let me leave the rest for you. I think you can just play around this. Let's move on to the sizing. Sizing. All right. So with the sizing, I think we're trying to ensure that you shouldn't be praised. This one is in the form of graph because we don't even use this. We don't use this graph because we have some libraries and other tools that helps you as a developer to build graph so easily and they have been done for you. So all that you have to do is that one is out of scope. It's not part of what you are learning right now. But since we are learning sizing, let me explain that one for you. Okay, so yeah, we are just going to learn how to apply the height and the width class. And okay, these ones are very, very important. Borders and border color and border radius. And all these things we learn them in HTML and CSS. You are just looking at how Bootstrap uses some of these things. All right, so we are starting with width class. Let me see if I can get a short note here for you. So wait, do you have width here? I think it's here. Okay, so there's it. So relative to the parent, weight and height utilities are generated from the sizes SAS mapping. This includes support 25%, 50%, this and that. So you can see this one, it works as like a graph, like a graph. So it's the same thing. Like I said, I didn't do this for my I didn't just sit down and do this from off-headed. I came to the Bootstrap documentation and prepare this note for the class. So let's see. So if you want to give this one a weight of 25%, so it is measured in percentage, and the highest is what 100%. So 25% to be like 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4. So all that you have to do is what you use the weight. So represented by what W to be what 25. 25. So let's see what will happen. Oh, I didn't run that one, sorry. So let me close this spot and restart this one again. All right, so this is the 25% too. Initially they are all using what 100%. They are all using 100%. So we can even change of the classes to show the difference. Like I said, I was in a hurry and I didn't want to do this. That even it's a plus for all of us. We are learning the class, the the colors again. So I've given it what a primary. Let's give the second one secondary. Secondary, and this one is what a weight of 50. So 50. You can continue the rest, right? You can continue the rest. Let's look at what does auto do. I think that one. Let me see if they gave us a note on that. So weight auto.
Robert.
Yeah.
So can you give a width of 40%?
We can give a weight of 40%. Let's try that one and see. For Tailwind CSS, I don't think that one will work. For Bootstrap, normally they allow your own, what do you call it, weight. So even if it doesn't work, you can override this using your CSS what do you call it, your CSS file. Please, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So let's give this one a 40%. So 40%, you're expecting it to be below 50, right?
Yes.
Yes. So let's see. It should work. All right. It didn't work. It didn't work. But what I'm saying is you can override it. You can override this. So looking at I think this is it. I'm coming. Let's change the class to danger. Let's change the class to danger. All right. So this is it. Danger. Do you have the weight over here? I'm coming. It's using this W of what? 50% important. So this is how we override it. So let me check this. So let me check this. Okay. So Abdul, let's try to implement 75 and let's change it back to 40%.
Okay.
So that one, I think that will be simple. So all that you do is you can give it the classes that it uses. So let's say this one uses weight of 75. So right now this is our 75. So all that you have to do is look for the 75. Do you have 75 somewhere here? Okay, so Abdul, what you can do, hey, we have another important here. So let me override it here for you to see if this one works. Oh yeah, it's working. So 40. Abdul, are you following?
I've seen it.
So what you can do is, normally this is how we do it. You come and test it in the browser. If it works, then you just copy this and go and create your, what do you call it? Already, I know you have created that. You create a CSS file which is being linked to this, the internal one, not external one. Then okay, so we can even try that one here. So you can just create a CSS file. Let's paste it. I think this one should work because of the important over here. All right, so right now, if we refresh it, it should work. Is it working?
Yes.
All right. So this is one way of debugging CSS Bootstrap classes, or overriding them. Though this thing I plan of teaching you, that will be the last thing I will teach you. But since Abdul brought it up, it's a plus for those of you who are in the class today. Yes, it's good. We are learning. So let's move on. I hope the rest you can continue, right? This ones, we are moving to the next session. I mean this one.
Yeah, we can move.
Yes.
But my girlfriend has joined.
Abdul. All right. So the next one is the height, and the height too is the same, or is just the opposite of this. it's just the opposite. So although what we just did here, instead of W, we just represent what by what H hyphen what. So in fact, the first
20,
one started
so that one to be 25, 50, 75, 100.
The same thing.
But the auto means 100, right?
Yeah, the auto will use everything. The auto will use everything, but normally what auto does is it position it at the middle, at the center.
Okay.
Yes. Assuming it's in between two elements and you use auto, it will position at the center for you. That's how it works. So let's use this one to be 75 and see. Where is my 75? I'm expecting this one to move. Okay, I'm coming. So H of 75. So there's it. H of 75. So 75, I'm expecting to see something like this. So this is what I'm expecting to see, but I don't know what's going on right now. Let me refresh it. It's not working. Why and how? Okay, so let me change this one to info. I've not used info. All right, so the color has changed, but the weight hasn't changed. Okay. The main reason is, you see, we are supposed to give the parent component a height. We have to give this one a height. The whole of this a height. So let me see which height are they using here. I think they are using a height of 100 pixels. So we can do the same. So give it a star. So give it a star of height of, let's say, 400 pixels. All right, so 400 pixels, and let's give it, so the height is okay. I think the height is okay. If you want, you can increase you can give the whole thing a background color. So you can see it's working. Without a height, it will never work. So you have to give the parent component a height, any height of your choice, anything that you want to give. So I think that you can apply the same principle to the rest. Please, I'm pleading with you, after the class, go to the GitHub repository and download this or clone this and continue yourself. It will help you a lot. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is borders. So as the name sound, it gives, or it should I say it creates line, or it draws line, or whatever. So that one is going to fence it for you, something like a fence be around it. This is one way of debugging your CSS. This is what I normally use. You can see I'm working on a project right now for a client, and they have not given me most of the, what do you call it, the assets. So the whole of yesterday and today, this is what I did, guys, and I'm just using whatever I'm teaching you guys to build my life or to work. That's what I'm doing. So right now the client has not given me
but your number, I suggest that you send it to the right, in the center like that. I don't like it.
I'm using what do you call it, I'm following this, so I don't code I don't just code anything. You understand?
Okay.
I've been given a UI to follow.
Okay.
So this is the project that I'm working right now.
Okay.
So this is it. So I'm following what is here. So you can see it is at the center.
Yes, that's true.
So I have to go by that.
Go back to it and let me see.
Is that?
Go back to the one you are following.
There's it.
Your border radius on your own is not matching with this one, so you can narrow it a bit more.
This one.
This is yours. So your border radius is straight. If you go to the other one, you see that they have more curves than yours.
You mean this one?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I'll work on that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. So you can just use this one to create some, should I say, dummy, or to position your layout, to create all the layout. When you are done, you can just sort, when they give you the assets, all that you have to do is sort, replace them. Guys, are you following? So that's it. It's not anything. It's not anything. So that's the borders. How do you create border? All that you have to do is you just come here and give it a border of, so you can just give it a border. So with a border to start with 1, 2, 3 up to I think 5 or so. So we can just give this one a border, a border, and you can give a border color too. So if you just use a border, this what will happen. It will create, I think, a thin line around it. So let me see what will happen here. Regular. So under regular, so you can see, guys, you can see. So the rest of them, you don't have any borders. And the next one is border hot top, border bottom, border right, and border left. It's the same thing that we learned in the margin and padding. So you can use the same principle over here. You can use the same principle over here. So let's see. Yeah, you can give it a border, border hyphen or T. So this one will just create a border at the top. Wow. And I'm using tailwind CSS. And in fact, sometimes I get confused because it's the same thing over there. So border, let me check. This is the Bible. Okay. So tailwind CSS we just use T, but this one is using full. I'm always mentioning tailwind CSS, and I haven't taught you tailwind CSS. Let me see if I can just.
One of these days you have to teach us.
Don't worry. Tailwind CSS is just a brother. Just that one, the interface looks very, very nicer than that one's better. You can see. Look at this. So this is Tailwind CSS documentation. So even after me taking you guys through Bootstrap, like the way I'm teaching you, and let me tell you, this and the way I've structured this course, even if you go to those so-called train IT programming school, they will not teach you the way I'm teaching you here. I've been there before, and I know what I'm saying. They will not start. Normally, they start from the components straight. They will just come here and teach you. They will teach you this component, this ones. The button, they will just go straight. Let me say they will go straight to the point without explaining what primary and those success and those things for you guys to understand. All right, so this is Tailwind CSS class documentation. After teaching you Bootstrap, even Ubufua, you can come here and come and learn it on your own. Also, it's the same thing. In fact, almost we have Bootstrap is the same thing. Just that the interface is better than Bootstrap. So instead of T, in fact, top. Sorry. So let's go back and see. So you can see the thin line over here. That's the top. In fact, I'm not going to do the rest. It's going to be an assignment. You guys should try your best and do it for me and yourself. All right. Then another one is the colors, border colors. You can also use, you can apply border colors. So let's see, where is it? So we have, this is button. So borders, border colors. So you can see. So that one start with the border itself, but depending on what you want to do, if you just use border like this, automatically, as you saw, it's going to create border around all the parts. But if you want a border at, let's say, just the top or the right or the left or the or the bottom, you can just what? You can just specify that. You can just specify that and Bootstrap will do that for you. All right, so the first thing is you have to add this border. Then the next is to come and specify the border color that you want to use. So here, let's use which one? Let's use info. So that you guys should do the rest. So border, that was the first thing. The next one is border hot info. So I'm expecting to see 4 lines around it with the info that's blue color. So you can see this is it, guys. So this is it. Let's move on to the last part. Then we are done with this. I think after this we move on to breakpoints and we say bye bye to utilities. Then I'll move straight to CSS Bootstrap Grid system for you guys. After learning Grid, you can do whatever I'm doing here. Everything that I'm doing here, I'm using CSS Bootstrap Grid and Tailwind CSS for that. I combine them a lot. With Tailwind CSS, it doesn't have any grid system. So with Tailwind CSS, what you have to master well, I've already taught you. That's Flexbox. Tailwind CSS uses Flexbox a lot, but Bootstrap has its own grid system, which also allow you to use Flexbox inside. So with the Flexbox there, and here's some more training, it is everywhere. It's like MTN. All right. So last one, which is border radius. In fact, you guys know this. Any new thing. So border radius. Let me see if many notes you are. Border radius. So border top, border radius. All right. So add a class to. So that one you can see. That's the edges. The edges. So here also a curve kakra. Then here too the same thing. But if you use full, or if you use 100%, this is what you are going to get. So this one is 150 by 75 and the rest. All right, so these are the classes. You can also apply what do you call it, the small and the large classes over here. So rounded what? So this is the class you have what? Rounded top, right, bottom, as you saw. Then we also have rounded circle. I think this is it. The circle is this. But for Tailwind CSS, it uses rounded full instead of circle. That one will be full, F-U-L-L, full. Then in that order. Then border rounded what? 0 will not do anything. So you can see. So I basically have explained everything for you guys. Let's try and do 1 or 2 things and we end this section. So all that you have to do is what? Add the rounded here, and this one too. Where is the circle? If you want to draw circle, you do rounded hyphen Kwame Nkrumah circle. It will work for you. So let's go back and check what we have. All right, so I think guys, can you see what is going on here? Because of the length, So I think in order for this one to work, the best way to do this is give this equal width and height, like what we saw here. I think they are using a height of 75 by 75. They are using height of 75 by 75. So let me see if we can even use this padding and margin to do that. Okay, so let me give it a width of 25 and a height of 25 and see if that one works. Fine. All right, you can see. In fact, let me change the color. This color is not nice, so let me give it a So you can see this is an oval shape because of the length, because of the length. That's why it's happening this way, because of the length. So that's all about border and the radius and the rest. In fact, it's not new thing. We have already seen all these classes in CSS. So we are moving on to the next one, which is also very important, which is also very important. Guys, you remember I taught you what do you call it? I taught you how Bootstrap uses the responsive classes to adjust, or hey, we have about 9, so all the latecomers are in now. Have not even checked. Abdul, you didn't alert me.
I am admitting them secretly.
I'm just talking. I'm not even watching. I just went there. I saw we have 9 people here. Initially, it was 4. All right, let's move on. So the next one is the responsive classes in Bootstrap. So that one too. Let me go to the documentation for you. So that one's what media queries. Media, we call it media query or media. Let me see, media object. Or media, no, it's media query rather. That is not media object. So media query. Let me see if this one works. Okay, so there's it. That's the breakpoint. That's the breakpoint. So the breakpoint depends on the screen that you are using. You see, in these modern times, it is very necessary and very important for you to know how to build website across all what do you call it, screens or platforms. Because in the olden days, when they are building website, all that they do is they just target the big devices like what do you call it, the laptops. So even up till now, there are some website that doesn't render well on mobile devices and tablets because the developers just target the large screens like what do you call it, laptops and those big screens. So here you can just use media query to adjust your what do you call it, your website. For example, let me use this one. As you can see, this one we have, it is on the large screen, it is positioned at the what, left and right. eh this how it's showing you on large screen. It cannot show the same in what they call it, mobile view. If it happens that, meaning your website is not responsive. That's called responsive. So how do you check that? If you want to check if a website is responsive, all that you have to do is what, you right click and go to inspect. That, I think this one I've already taught you that. Then with the inspect, you come here. This is the device. So here I'm using what, Galaxy S5. You can change the device. We have iPhone 6, 7. It depends on your browser. I'm using Google Chrome, and I think that it's using iPhone what, X. In California, or maybe I have to update my browser to get that. Okay, so you can just choose any of these devices to see how your website will render on them. So you can see it is showing very what, nice. Just that my button here, I have to what, reduce the size a bit because it seems that the size on the big or the large screen on the small screen are the same. It shouldn't be the same. So all that you can do, if you can do that from the browser, you can just click on it and search for that. I think this is it. That's the padding X and L. So it's the same thing. You see, everything that I taught you, that's the same thing I'm using. You can just adjust the changes here. If it works here, fine. Then you show, oh, okay, so this one works nice. Let's say size. I'm using 1.5 RAM here. So let's say if I change it to let me change this one to 0.5 and see what will happen. So 0.5. All right, so you can see 0.5. How do you see it? Is it nice or it's not nice? It's up to you. Does it fit what the customer wants? If not, you can change, instead of 0, you can make this one 1 and come and change the 5 towards 2. So like something like that. You keep trying. Here there's nothing like right or wrong answer over here. Guys, are you following? So when it comes to website development, I will not say someone is an expert. No, because you cannot just gauge it and say this one I'll give it 10 pixels and it works. We can, all that we can say is they have the experience. So let's say if you are the beginner are going to use a whole day, he will just use half day or less than that to build the entire page, because he knows where and how he can do that faster than you. Please guys, is that clear? So we are going to learn how to do this, how to make your website responsive. So in order for you to make your website responsive, Bootstrap, as for Bootstrap, even there's no need for me to teach you these things, but I want to teach you behind the scene. That is why I prepared it for you guys, because Bootstrap has done this thing for you. I'm just teaching you the behind the scene. Bootstrap has done all these things for you. Bootstrap has done all these things for you. All right. So how do you write media query? Always, this is how it starts. It starts with the word media with the @ symbol in front. It starts with the word media query. Then the next one is a bracket, which you have to introduce the what? The size of the screen. The size of the screen. So with the sizes of the screen, in fact, but I have some of them. The one I use most is 640 pixels. That is the mobile view. On them tell you super, so I will trim. So all that you can do is you can just even search online Bootstrap. I'm teaching you how to do all these things because I want you guys to know that we search a lot. We Google a lot. Obi an expert wa. Even the senior developers with the 10, 15 years experience still Google. Then you less than 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, we are now starting, and you say you don't want to Google. Share. So Bootstrap media queries. So let me start with this one. If I don't get what I want, I'll search for another one. Bootstrap media queries. Let me open this one in a new tab. So this is what I normally do. All right, so as I said, it is over here for you. So you can see we have this one is for what? Landscape phones, right? This one is English, so landscape. So the next one is for tablets. The next one is desktop, and the next one is extra large devices like those big monitors. So assuming we want to target mobile phone, you can use this one. Either is minimum or maximum. This one is minimum or maximum. So minimum weight or maximum weight. Normally I don't use the minimum, I use the maximum a lot, because I want it to work only on, let's say, a mobile phone. When the size of the device is more than is bigger than mobile phone, it should work different. So let's start with this one. So you can remember, you can use what? Maximum or minimum. So here we are using, no, you see saying it's using 576 pixels, and here I normally use 640. So it's using 576 pixels. What do we want to do? All that we want to do here, we are not going to do any fancy thing. I want us to just change the background color. So when you get to this, you want to change the body background color. We are targeting the body, this body, body way. We are targeting this, and we are giving it a background color of what? A background color of green. So right now, let's save it and go back to our browser and see. Hey, in fact, I have not run it. Oh, sorry guys. Let me stop this spot and restart again. All right, guys. So you can see that right now it is what? White. So let's go to the mobile view and see. So I'm expecting to see green background or what. Guys, are you following?
Yes, you are following.
I hope say me magic or how you understand what is going on.
Yes, please, you understand.
Aha, that's great. That's great. So let's target tablets. Tablet to let's change tablet to yellow. So that one is 768 pixels. In fact, you don't need to memorize this. You don't need to memorize the numbers. But shako for no more the moment to my word. Me space no. Me person me do 768 right pixels. And
yeah, 786.
7
it be like 786. Or let's go back and check.
786,
I didn't see well.
Hey,
This 768. It be this one or the
right.
Nana address no way they do it be make me.
And another address.
I say they do address today.
And we are
address,
learning.
Address number 26.
Hey, me, I'm not even aware. All right, guys. So when you see the same thing, background, let's use yellow for this. So with tablet view, it will change to yellow. So that one, if it me try, no do one kasa besisa. See, you do. Guys, are you following? Is it has changed? So when you get to mobile view, it will change to green. This breakpoint is not working for me, but it should change to green. All right, so let me see. Okay. I've seen the reason. Because I'm using this, it should be minimum here for me. All right. Okay, so I say okay. Please, are you following? So this is how it works. So this is behind the scene. This is called media query. This is media query, and the reason why I'm just using colors is the only thing that you have to know is the maximum and the minimum height, the width, because everything that you are going to write in between or inside them are CSS. So you need to master your CSS very, very well. It's up to you. Into one case, I will gauge it, then I say, oh, when you get to this, may percent size say, or I want the color to be this, or I want this button I don't want to display the button at all. I want to hide it. For example, I think I have one over here. Let me see if I can show you. But it could be I was implementing multi-step Let me see if I can go back to that. I was implementing some multi-step. So I'm implementing this multi-step form. This multi-step form. In fact, form that because it bothers me. So all that I did is, for the meantime, I will bring it back. But for the meantime, when you get to mobile view, this bar here, I don't want to show it. So let's go. You can see when you get to mobile view, you just see you just see this bar and the rest of the forms. All right, so let's go. You can see right now it is hidden. You don't have it here again. So it's up to you to do whatever you want to do. It's up to you to do whatever you want to do. Please, I'm not done. I just started. By the close of maybe this week, I will finish everything and if it is lunch, I will let you guys to see the final output of what your teacher, the one teaching you, is also doing. All right, so I'm using the Bootstrap forms and the CSS and everything that for this one is still with CSS for this. So guys, the same thing. And yeah, just learn. All right, so that's all. So we can do for the rest. So we have this size, we have that size, we have 992, and we have 1200. That's 1200 pixels. And for Bootstrap, you don't need to do this. So I'm just teaching you behind the scene. As I said, Bootstrap will use this. It uses, even you have extra small here, small, medium, large, and what extra large. Guys, please, is that clear?
Yes.
Any question? Because we are done with the utilities now. We are moving on to the next model. We have about 35 minutes. Any question here? Hello?
It means if you are writing the media queries yourself,
Yeah.
within the curly braces, you are now going to introduce the CSS as we're doing.
Yes.
So all the CSS, how to target class, how to target ID, all of them are usable here, right?
Yes. You can just do whatever you are doing in the normal CSS here again. Just that you are moving to a small screen. So maybe you are expecting maybe the font size, the button size to decrease.
Yes.
You understand that?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Guys, any more questions? You ask questions. And please, today I've intentionally left a lot of things for you guys to practice this week. Go to my GitHub repository and clone this. Clone it and practice. If you don't practice, you'll be in class once. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one, I'm going to teach you how to create layout in Bootstrap. In fact, no, I think it's a way to make you before time, so that next week, God willing, we will start the Bootstrap component, CSS component. If you're able to finish, or in fact, next week, I'm sure we are going to finish that. So we are going to learn my BBR, even today, time will mark a bit to master it. Button, navbar, forms. I'm not going to teach you everything. Metro button. I'll teach you how to create a navbar, how to create a form, how to create a table with pagination, how to create a card, jumbotron. All right. So today we are starting with the grid system. And you can see there's flexbox also in here. And maybe the last thing I will teach you is how to create a carousel. I hope you know carousel. That is slider, a slider on your website. If we're able to finish this thing next week, then the following week we are going to put everything that you have learned together to build a project, and based on that, we might end the class and continue again, or Abdul, how many weeks more do we have for this Zoom premium account?
As for that one, don't worry. I think we have done 3. This is our 3rd meeting on it.
So
we have 1 week. Then we'll renew it again, inshallah. Then, so we can renew again afterwards.
Sure. So let's finish the bootstrap class and let's talk, because looking at how the class is going, I think after the bootstrap class, that is where we will remove all those who are not active and go with those who are active, because JavaScript is not a joke that today you come, tomorrow you not come.
And they will be dragging the class back.
Yes, JavaScript is not a joke. I'm not going to scare you, but I'm telling you. You see, yesterday I was telling you that for those of you who want to dive into the backend development, please, I'm still advising you to go with Python. That is, if you want to make money quick, go with Python. But if you are looking at, let's say, 2 years time, 3 years time, in order for you to master JavaScript and become a full Node.js backend developer for JavaScript, that one there, as Abdul said, inshallah, you can do. All right, so let's start with the layout. That's Bootstrap grid system. Bootstrap grid system, and with that one, let me see. I think it's even here. Great. All right. So Bootstrap grid system. There's it. There's it. There's it. There's it. All right. So guys, the Bootstrap grid system, this is how it works. So all that I'll do is let me create a new file and name it grid system or grid.html. And in fact, I don't want to type. Let me go and copy from breakpoint. Because of time, can't be typing for people to watch. And today, for today's video there, I might not upload because it doesn't look professional for me. In the Yabon come up. Oh guys, what do you say? Should I upload it?
Yes, you upload it.
Still.
At least by and large, like you said, we'll when we finally have a studio for Code Boot,
Yeah.
you will do the recordings there and upload them, the more professional recordings.
Sure. So we are going to get a dedicated person to work on the recordings. That is to trim all these parts. She said, I mean, no, you can see, and we just trim it.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So let's start with the grid class before we end the class. I'm hoping to finish that quickly for you guys. Please, guys, this is one of the most important part of the whole Bootstrap CSS, what do you call it, framework. This is one of the should I say the exciting parts of Bootstrap. In fact, we Juma so easily if you understand this part. So let me start with the first part, which is this class, container class. I've already explained this to you guys. That all that it does it. You can see you can see this. Compare Bootstrap website to what I'm working on. You can see that here we have space over here, and yet I'm highlighting left and right. If you look at the Bootstrap class, website, there's nothing like space at the left and there's nothing like space at the right. So what is the difference? Or how do you achieve that? So I am using the difference between my website and Bootstrap is I am using the container class, and Bootstrap is using what is called container fluid. Container fluid. So that's what Bootstrap is using. So if you use container fluid, it will not create any margin. So we call it margin. It will not create margin left and right. But if you use container, that is where it will create what? It will create your left and right, what do you call it, margin for you. Please, is that clear? That's the first part of the CSS grid. All right. The next part is this. Always look at or picture the whole website as it is being divided, or it is in rows and columns. That's it. That's the meaning of the grid. So as you know, grid is what? Like box. So remember we learned CSS box and you said just picture everything that you see on the website as what? Box. Today we are going to picture everything on the web page as what? Grid. So grid is arranged in what? Rows and what? Columns. Rows and columns. So with CS Bootstrap grid, the first class that you should learn is called row. And as the name sound, row moves in the what? In the x-axis. In the x-axis, that's from left to right. So if you create this is the first row, and inside the row you can have as many as 12 columns. So Bootstrap columns end at where? 12. And it is measured in, it uses even numbers. It uses even numbers. So here we can create one column and name it. So let's start from 12 downwards. So the first one is what? C L, and I'm using a medium screen. So MD of what? 12. Guys, so this is the first grade system that we are learning today. I said, so look at the class. The first one is row and the second one is column. I just added medium, and I want to use the full column. That is why I'm using what? 12. Right now, in order for us to see what I'm doing, let me use some style over here and use border of 1 pixel. Please don't like, if you don't, I know you guys understand this. I'm just debugging it. So if you don't get it, I'm just creating a border around this thing. This one is not part. This one is not part. I'm just adding inline CSS. So border solid. In fact, me red. So let me see this and picture what we have. Even you can give it a background, but right now let's see what we have first. In fact, this is it too. I don't know how, because I didn't give it a height. I think you can give it a height of even the whole of this container. Let's bring it down. So let's give it a margin top of 5. All right, so you can see, and let's give this a height. Please, the most important part of what I'm teaching you today is this and that, row and column. The reason why I'm adding star is I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So let's give it a height of let's say 50 pixels, and we can even give it a background. A background. So all that I'm writing now is normal CSS. It's not part of Bootstrap, please. Can be. So background of yellow. All right, so guys, this is one row and one full column. This is one row and one full column in Bootstrap. So let me use what I just did to explain the project that I'm working on. All right. So how do you achieve what I'm doing here? Forget about the navigation bar. That one is different. For example, if you come here, you can see that the hero section is exactly what you guys are seeing here. The hero section. I have one row and one full column. And inside the column, I have the logo will be here, and this is a text, and this is what? A search bar. So they are all inside one full row and one full column. When you come to the next part, I think Papa, let me go to another section. Good. So when you come to this part, we are going to create something like this for you guys to see how I did this, or how I achieved this. How are we going to do this? It's up to you. You can use one row throughout, or you can introduce another row. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Let's say from 12, we are using even numbers. You can use the counting numbers, but normally we prefer using the even numbers to the counting numbers. I think someone is asking a question or something. Let me chat this chat. Please upload some of. Okay. Someone say you should upload it. I'll do that. All right. So after 12, the next one is what? In fact, let me copy everything here. Or should I? No, let me copy. Mbetiate. Mumabi. So all that I'm doing is I'm going to change this one to what? 10. And change this color to black. And change this background to green. So where is it? Guys, are you following? Right now, if today we have learned about margin and padding, guys, I want to create a space between the yellow and the green. How am I going to achieve that? Quick one, because time will call. Yes. Anyone can talk. Oh.
Go to the green div.
Uh-huh.
And then create margin top of, let's say, 5 and now 4.
That's the guys. Just say, I didn't the previous one. That's the most important. We are going to start applying them. So maybe if you think you were joking, or Diana, sorry, now buy out all these things. Yeah. So it's up to you to visit either the video or the Bootstrap documentation to learn this yourself. So margin top of what? 5.
Alternatively, you could have gone to the other one and do margin bottom.
That's great. So the same way you can do what?
Margin bottom over there, and you will achieve the same thing.
Margin bottom of. Let's use 4.
Yes.
All right. So this is what? This is full width or full length, and this is what? It's not all that full. This one is 12, and this one is what? This one is 10. So in that order, so we can even write the numbers inside. So this one is 12. This one is what? This one is 10. Let's move on to the next one. And that one too, you have to create your space. So margin, so you can even use margin top and bottom, margin Y of 4, so that it will affect the next one. All right. So exactly. Here we can use yellow, and here we can come and use, let's say, blue. All right. So we are cool. Okay, so this one is also 10 because I copied. So this one is supposed to be what? 8. So here will be what? 8. So you can see that it is only the size or the length of the column that I'm changing. I'm not changing the row. As for the row, it is fixed. Row is row and column is column. But for the column, you can adjust the what do you call it? The length. All right, so let's see. Guys, are you following? Let's do this one up to the last one. After that, then we start combining them. All right. So the next one will be what? 6. The next one will be 6. And look at how from here, look at what will happen from the 6. So this one is 6. Let's create the next one. The next one will be what? The next one will be 4. 4. So here will be what? 4. Look at what happened. Right now, we have 6 plus 4. Ebemas and 10. Still, Akabi. So we are also expecting the 2 to continue from where the last one ended. So here will be what? 2. And this one will be what? 2. Did I use? Oh, sorry. All right. Guys, so this is the Bootstrap grid system. This is the Bootstrap grid system. it's not just even numbers. You can use 1, 2, 3 up to the 12. It will work for you. It will work for you. So here, the one that we use most is 6 and 6, 8 and 12. The 12 itself, we use 2 and 4. So normally we use the even numbers most at times. Let me see if I can get any web. For example, let's try this. Which one? Any web page that you can use to learn our grade system. But guys, based on what I've taught you right now, do you guys understand the grade system, or I should throw more light on it? Hello, Bunny, Israel, Shat, Sparrow.
Bosu.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bab.
You understand, right?
Yeah, I understand.
It's very, very simple. That's great. That's great.
Yes.
Emmanuel Champon, Aminata, Israel, Shat. Let me hear from you guys. All right. So let me run quickly through the Bootstrap documentation for you, so that we can end the class. Then next week, God willing, we start with the main CSS component, which will be the tables and the forms and the rest. All right. So here, this is it. You can come here and read it yourself, but let me just run it. Let me run through that for you. So we have the container class here, and we have the row that I introduced, and inside the row we have just column and column. So here, if you don't specify any number, automatically when you say column and column, look at what is happening here. It will create, because you are putting 2 columns inside a row. Now and this one too, you are using, if you don't specify the length, this is how it's going to divide it for you. So it is advisable for you to specify the length. So even here, they are in fact they are creating a lot of confusion over here, because they are not specifying the columns, the length, the numbers. So let's see where they did that. Let me use that one. In fact, they are not conference. Imagine boom. Or this one is Bootstrap 4.0. Wow. Let me go to latest, because I'm coming. Bootstrap 4. Okay, so grade system. All right. I think it's the same documentation. Bootstrap, they don't change their documentation. It's the same thing. The same thing. All right. So let me use this one to explain it for you guys. It's the same thing that we just did. So here we have 1 row, and inside that we have 8 and 4. So with the 4, normally we use the 4 to create sidebar. And so let's say this one will be the full page, and this will be the sidebar. All right. So that's it. I think that's it. So here too, they have 8 and another column inside another column. So you can do that too. You can create a column inside a column. All right, so that's it. I think that's all.
Robert.
Yes.
The MD and then the SM and the LG, and is it in relation to your laptop screen?
Hey, when we are teaching responsiveness?
Yes, I was here.
All right, so this one I'll leave to the class. Guys, please answer him. Hey, if you are not able to answer, I mean you are not following. No.
Those ones are the screen sizes.
Okay.
The extra small, medium, large, extra large.
Okay.
There are screen sizes.
Okay. So the when you were teaching the art media, you said that you were just showing us what was happening at the back door.
Did you say art media, or you wanted to say media queries?
The media queries, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, the media queries. When he was speaking about the media queries, and he was teaching us the back door, like what happens behind closed doors.
Yes.
So it means that, and he was like, Bootstrap have already done it for us. So that it means that they are represented by the MD, SM, and LG, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that when you state the MD, you are targeting a medium screen. If you are stating the SM, you are targeting a small screen. So that at SM, it should give you 6x6 grade, or it should give you for 8x4 grade, something like that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Guys, let's discuss what we have done, like the way we have started. Any more questions? Chat, can you add something to what Mr. Abdul said? No. Abdul, who is the girlfriend?
She's the one, so I've answered for her.
No. Chat, add something. Add some pepper to the soup.
Her iPhone has a mic problem. You remember that? She will type.
I hear.
Okay. Another question, please. So it can go to anyone though.
Sure.
So if you want to use an automatic one, is there a way to use an automatic one instead of specifying the screen issue? Because I realize that the core, like you said, when you don't specify, it gives you an automatic one. So the core, like that, when you use it, is it in relation to various type of screens, or it will just give you a standard one?
Yeah. So the core will not give you a standard one. It will just adjust to the screen, any screen.
Okay.
So I think that one is like a general one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Angela, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Please, do you understand up to this point?
Yes, please.
Guys, listen, this is what you'll be using to build your any website that you get, whether contract or personal project. This CSS grade is very simple. You see here, but in fact, this is what you'll be using. Let's say about 60%. This is what you'll be using. Amina.
Yes, sir.
Please, do you get it?
Little by little.
All right. We are ending the class, so I want to make sure you all get it. That's why I'm calling you one after the other. Israel.
All right.
Israel.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes, but I think I have to go back and go through the video again.
Okay. All right. So I think that's all. If you have any question, you can bring it on board. If not, we'll be ending here today. We have closed before time. About 8 minutes more. That's good. If you don't have any question, let me even stop recording. Yes, I will cry too much.